Good morning, chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, YouTube? Wait, are we, let me check we're live. All right. Good morning, chat. Good morning. Welcome back to a brand new day. So, big day today. You got NFP. We got NFP at 8:30, and I think that's it for today, right? It's just 8:30. 8:30 NFP, ISM manufacturing PMI, ISM manufacturing prices, revised UM consumer sentiment. Yeah, you have a bunch of shit, but I think it's the most major folder obviously is going to be the 8:30 folder. It's been a pretty eventful week, to be honest. Like the only day where you didn't have news was Monday, right? Am I tripping? Was it Monday? Because you had news today. Yesterday you had news as well. The day before was FOMC. Tuesday, let's take a look actually. So Monday, nothing. Tuesday, you had Joe's job openings. Wednesday, you had FOMC at 2 p.m. And Thursday, you had core PC price index and unemployment cost index, unemployment claims. And then today, you got NFP. So you got a lot of shit, chat. Let me just make sure this is on. Oh, I gotta record too. All right. We on live on YouTube. Yeah, we're live on YouTube as well here. Okay, so be on your best behavior. Chat. So let's go into charts and see what we can do today. News in about like 18 minutes here. So you got quite a bit of time here. Let's just do the analysis and then, we'll see what we can come up with if there's anything today. If there's not, then, it'll still be a great day either way of learning. But looking at the volume so far off the bat, looks pretty decent. Is this connected? Yes, that's connected. True. So let's start off with let's start off by looking and see what happened yesterday. So yesterday was Thursday, right? This is Wednesday over here. Yesterday was also the last day of the month. I keep forgetting that today is a new month. It's August 1st, chat. Welcome. Thursday. Yeah, over here. So this is Asian on Thursday, right? Going into Thursday, Asian. Just kind of pushed up from the pop you had from NY. And then you just continue to push up yesterday at around 3. London opening, continue to pop up. I think this was a move for like 100 pips. And then the one after that was another like 100. So overall, you moved up here for a total of like 150 pips. And then price came up towards that like 33.14 zones. And then finally it retraced, right? Retraced for 5 and 6 a.m. So you had a retracement for like 160 pips. And then you had so 5, 6, and then you had another pop back up to retest the highs. Didn't break the highs, but 7, 8, right? So yesterday's NY session came up, retested the highs, didn't really break, respected these zones here, and then just made its way down for 7, 8, for 9, 10, it made its way down. And then you kind of just continue down to the market close. So that was kind of the day. I think we got off at around here, right? But when we got off, I think there wasn't much for us to take. So you can't just range. Asian opening again, spike down. How much was this? 870 pips. And then you can't make your way back up to retest the highs again. And then London opening or pre-London, yeah, mini spike up that broke the previous highs, nothing too crazy. And then 2 a.m. made its way down again, 2, 3 for London last night for like 110, nothing too crazy there. 110, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 all kind of came up, right? So you've been pushing up since like 4 a.m., but there's like no volume or like direction. You know what I mean? It's not really like trending hard yet, at least yet. Now, I think yesterday what we were looking for was we're looking to see if these were like, or on Tuesday. Let me bring it back to Tuesday, Wednesday. I think on Tuesday, Wednesday, we're looking for top wicks to be created in these zones here before coming down, right? And it didn't do that, but it did go down. And when it came down to fill the weekly leg candle, which I'll get into in a second here. But you didn't come down, or you didn't come up before coming down. You can't just make your way down, pop down, and then you have some more top wicks in these ranges here, right? On Wednesday, FOMC. And then you just continue down, right? So the issue with that is like when it comes down, there's nothing to be grabbed on the way down. So when there's nothing to be grabbed on the way down, usually when price comes back up to retest the highs again, it'll usually come towards those areas, right? So you can see that like there's no structure here, like there's nothing here. So when price came up, look at where it reacted off of like pretty much the previous zones here, which is these areas here, right? These areas here to the left. And then you kind of just ranged there yesterday, right? Nothing too crazy. Ranged there, hovered around there. And then you had a spike down today at right around like 8:30. And then came back up now to retest the highs there. So I'm thinking like, is there a chance that today's price just makes its way up towards like 33, 35 to fill these wicks here? Or are we still following this bearish trend? Obviously, like if you create enough structure down, right? So this is one high so far, but the more like lower highs you create down, is there a possibility that you continue down, right? Because the more lower highs you get, the more it'll indicate that we're going down, right? Every time you make a high, it should go up because it's going up, right? But if it doesn't, and it shows that you are making like lower highs, so let's say like from here, for instance, right? Let's say it rejects here. Is that a confirmation that's going down yet? Not completely yet, right? But what if you get this structure now? Will this be an indication? Yeah, right? Because at that point, you have one rejected here. Yeah, lows, yeah, highs, yeah, lower highs, right? You continue to make lower highs. Eventually, just continue to trickle down the entire range, which in this case would be like here. But that's one way to indicate where we're going today. Right? Obviously, right now, we have no idea. It's just that resistance. It can go anywhere. It can go up and go down. Who knows? But if you just wait for structure to print and indicate where it's headed, just kind of hop on the wave and grab the pole, right? So that's what we're going to try to do. But it's 8:18 now. You have, I think, 11 minutes left until news comes out here. Like looking at the 15 to 5 here, it does look good to say it's going up. Like looking like you do have lows, right? So I'm not saying like it's good to go up, but it's like ready. If it were to go up, there's nothing missing. You have lows here going up. The issue with that is it's just news, right? We gotta wait to see how news comes out. But I'm just gonna mark up my zones here, and then we'll go from there, chat. So if price were to make its way up, where would it go up towards? I'm gonna put 3309. Off bat around here. 3309.016. Let's see how far this goes. Valid. What if we remove this, put it here? Yeah, put it here. So if we go up, then we're looking at 3312.174, these zones. If you go up, right? So these zones here aren't for like buys above, sells below, or anything like that. It's just like if you were to go up, that's where you're looking at next, right? So if you were to get a reaction off of price, that's likely where price would react off of. And if you were to go down, right, so looking for your support now, where would I put that? Around there. So yeah, it's a little below thirds. It's a little below these wicks here, but I'm guessing these candles barely have bottom wicks. So if you were to go down, you'll likely re-break the lows. So you're looking at like 33.80 or 32.80. 32.80 here. Yeah, 4 levels too, valid. Cool. So now you have your resistance, which is 32.12. Your support level, which is 32.80. None of these are zones for buys or sells, right? They're just zones to see, like, to indicate where we're in. So overall, it's like it's a pretty decent zone. It's a 300 pip zone, 300 pip range. If you were to go up, how much room do you have left to go up? You got like around 80 pips. Obviously, on the way down, you have a lot of range, right? But yeah, let's see how news comes out in 8 minutes here, chat. And then we'll look for positions after news, right? We're not going to be trading the news channel, obviously. We never do. But no buy stuff, no sell stuff. That has not changed. We don't really look for those positions. And then yeah, we'll grab the pushes after this volume, right? We need volume, we need direction, and then after all of that, you need confirmations. So just be patient. Let me just update this on my MT5. 32.12.11 or 33.12.11. 32.80. Cool. All right, so I'll leave that, chat. 15 looks pretty good. Again, you have like nice higher lows being printed here on the way up. It looks pretty decent. There's just nothing for me for buys at the moment. I'd rather wait for news to come out here. And then yeah, let's see if 32.12 gets reacted off of, or if it were to re-break and continue driving. Because if it does break above 12, chat, then you're looking at like 30.22. So we might not be in buys like here, right? Ideally, I want to see a bit more structure than this. And it's before news, but if like, let's say price were to make its way up today, you're looking at above 12. You're probably looking at like these zones next here. So these areas at like 33.21. So if you do continue your way up, if you do make your way up, we'll probably wait to see if price could like react off of 21 and then print structure. So you want to see like candles close, rejecting obviously, closing respected the most recent zones here. In this case, I'll argue and say it's between here and here. I'm gonna put more so of here. As long as it respects here, I don't think this is too major of a resistance here, or a support for later. I think it's a decent resistance, but I don't know about support for later. But I'm gonna put it here at 33.03. So if you come up and then you get candles rejecting 33.21, right above there, like that. It's not gonna look exactly like this, chat, but over idea, right? And then you kind of just close bullish again to retest the highs like that. You create structure, yeah, above 30.21. You look for buys afterwards, right? That'll be clean because now you have like all these bottom wicks here that were formed just now, or during London and Asian and yesterday, and then you have more here in these zones here, right? So let's see if you get that, sure. Otherwise, if you reject off of 12 and say price goes up here like this, and then you and say you go up, right? Then you reject, right? What we'll wait for probably just more structure, because this doesn't indicate we're going down yet. As long as you respect these lows here, it's still indication that it's still support. It's still the previous low. As long as you respect that low, you can still go up at any given point, right? So is this enough? No. You probably want to see bullish kind of closures, right? Actually creating resistance and highs, right? So as you get those highs, sure, you can then get your sells, right? So right now we're in the middle. Like it's nowhere near like what we want to get yet, but this is what we need to see for sells. And then for buys, you need to see what I drew earlier, that structure to continue up. All right, chat. So yeah, 5 minutes here. Let's wait and see. And see what we can do here. But these ranges are decent. It should be a decent volatile day today. Hopefully an early trade, not late. We'll go from there. Monthly leg candle. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The was it the monthly? Yeah, the monthly leg candle I was talking about, or the weekly leg candle I was talking about, chat, was this one. I posted on my story like earlier this week on Wednesday, but we were expecting this to be filled throughout the week. I think the hard part this week was just figuring out Monday and Tuesday, like trying to figure out if we have enough structure, because we're coming off of a previous leg candle too. There's a leg candle here, and there's also a leg candle here. This one happened first, so we assumed this would come down first, right? But we assumed that there's a chance you can fill it this week. So it just came down to like Monday and Tuesday. If we create structure on like the higher time, like the 4 and the daily, to continue down. Eventually we did, and we took quite a bit of sells for the week. And then now you have this leg candle here. So a question becomes like, since you tap these zones here, is there a chance to continue up today? And if you do continue up, could the weekly flip? And then next week, could you end up driving back up? All right, to fill the leg candle up top. This doesn't have to be filled next week, and be filled whenever, but you do have these zones here which should be tapped eventually. It's just about when, right? Daily is pretty decent today too. It's bearish closure or bullish closure, respect and resistance here. Like below there. I know it's respecting. This is holding still, but there's also this here. So if this does flip, then there could be a chance you create a low. Which, where's that low? That low is going to be 32.75. Where's that? Oh, it's just a retest of lows, right? We had our zones at 80, so it's like 50 pips below. Not bad. Keep that in mind. Just marked it up. Put that here. All right, cool. All right, chat. So just be patient. Don't get so antsy. It's a Friday. Yeah, nice week. What's next week here? Next week. ISM services. Wednesday, nothing. Thursday, interest rates for the pound. Unemployment claims on Thursday. And Friday, you got nothing. All right. Better, bro. News here, chat. In about 14 minutes here. Or 14 seconds, I'm tripping. Let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes. So push up. Nice, not bad. Nice 70 pip pop up. Looks like there's a volume to continue. So tapping 12. Let's see if 12 breaks or holds. Where did I have my next zone at? I think it was right here. Yeah, around like 33.24. I swear it was 22 though. I'm gonna put 20. 30-20 next if you break 12 here. It's just like there's nothing like important at these zones, chat. It's just if you were to go up, right, these are the zones you react at. Now it's 100 dropped heavy though off the zone we marked. Holy. So pushing up. Nothing we can really do here. Aside from just watching. So 20 is my next zone here. So let's see if that reacts off of 20. And then obviously after 20, right? I mentioned earlier that this resistance here isn't too strong, or this resistance being support now isn't too strong. I think your stronger level is like a little below, so like around 33.05, right? So pay attention to that zone. I think that was around here, 33.05.9, 33.06 in that area. But yeah, so pay attention to that zone. If it pulls back here. Not bad news candle, chat. That was like 200 pip pop. Clear out its entire range, and if you break 20, then it looks like you're coming up towards these top wick zones here, which was what was missing on Wednesday and Tuesday. So yeah, 33, 32. Yeah, crazy candle. Crazy candle. Yeah, you definitely have volume. You don't gotta wait for volume. Yesterday we had to wait until like 10. But today you have volume off bat. It's looking good. Like it should be like should be at least a 7 or 10 day minimum. We have no ideas yet, chat. So in case you guys are wondering on YouTube, why am I not looking for buys at the moment? Because this is what I planned? No. We're still waiting for ideas to print out here, right? Whatever we said earlier was what we're waiting for. But it looks like you're coming up towards like these 32 zones here. 32.6. So let's see how 32.6 reacts here. What you can do here as well is wick entries. Won't be too bad of an idea actually. What time is it? 8:35. You have a 5-minute closure. You get a bottom wick. The thing is, wick entries, you probably want to see somewhere a little higher. I'll say around like 33.22. If you get a pullback towards 22, we can look for wick entry buys. But it needs to be the first initial reaction. So if you like get a pop down here towards these zones here, right, and you don't create structure, that's very key too. You like just one or 2 minute candle straight pops down, not like this, right? You want to see just like one pop down. You got that. We're gonna look for the wick entry buy here because we're looking for the first initial reaction. So then this range becomes like similar to what we took last NFP on stream, but sell side, right? But this is an 8-pip range, so we're gonna look to target that zone, and you have a bunch of advantage points on the way up. Obviously, we're not gonna like we're likely not gonna hold the entire trade to the top of the range, but we look to trail stops and profit, right? If it runs, it runs. But if you got that, we're gonna look for some plays here. But right now, you don't have a bearish candle yet, so there's still a chance you could continue up. You need to see bearish candles here, then you need to see that retracement. Because from the flip, if you worry about the 1 hour flip, it's like 209 pips away. The flip is all the way down at like 3301. So I don't think that flip's gonna happen. Looking pretty strongly bullish off the way the news candle popped. Yeah, 22, I'll wait for them. So how much is that of a retracement we need? A 90 pip retracement. Is that right? No, 22, not 20. I'll put it right here, 23. Still no retracement. Continue to pop. Right now, not a single bearish candle has printed. So since there's no bearish candle has printed, you can't get the retracement yet, right? I think next zone. So weekly flip now, right? Weekly flip bullish again. You re-break these highs, you're looking at 33.49. $33.49. That's probably your next zone here, chat. If you break above. Imagine if we're gonna close the leg candle. Yeah, no, it'd be crazy. Because then you have the likely to fill this candle, and then you have the leg candle coming down again. So at least you'll know like for the next 2 weeks direction if that were to happen. This is the first rejection. $13 seconds for a 5. Yeah, I'll leave it down like 20. 24 chat, 23, 24 is what I'm looking for here. Around here. It's a little steeper in here. It's gonna need a 78 pip retracement here. But you do have bearish candles now, so could it be the start? Remember, on the way down, you don't want to see structure, right? So this is still fine because this is still at the very top. But if you make your way down and then you print like top wicks, right? Candles come up, break the highs, flip bearish, it's gonna be a little tough. And it won't be the end of that idea. We can just adjust that wick entry zone a little lower, because the more lower highs you get, the more steeper you're likely gonna drive. You can probably push that zone down towards like 20, right? And if you continue to make structure, then you push it down back down towards 12, and it can just continue doing that until you get it. Kind of what we did on Tuesday, or no, on Wednesday NY. Could get a retracement here. All right, bro. All right, Cam. Continuation. All right, so you trace, but like nothing too crazy, or not where we wanted. You came down towards 30. I expected a little steeper than that. I expect that at least like 24, minimum like 27. Yeah, so continuation up, it's fine. I think next zone is gonna be 45. Yeah, 45. 44. So let it drive up towards that zone. $60 more pips. And same thing. We'll wait for the retracement. Right, so let price come towards that 45 if that's where it wants to go. And then wait for the retracement and then wick enters. Same idea. But obviously it's not gonna be at like 24, right? If you come up towards like 45, 40, 44, then you're probably looking at let's line this up here. Then you're probably looking at, I would say here, 41, 40. If you break above 40, if you come up towards 44, you retrace down to 41.40. We'll look for the wick entry buys there. Again, you need to see it come down without creating structure though, right? So same thing that we kind of had. All right, bro. Not bad day, chat. I mean, we didn't get like any ideas, but it's a decent volume day. Like I think at least a 7. I think it's unfair to give it like not a 7 plus. You know, it's pretty decent. I'll give it like a 7 plus right now. 7 out of 10. It could be higher. It might be higher when we end the day, but right now I'll leave it around a 7. 7 out of 10. It's okay price action. It's just like treading hard after news, right? It's only been 45 minutes here, but you're about to tap the 45 zone. So if you could retrace down to like that most recent zone now, which I believe we have it at 40. 40.41. Maybe a little lower actually. I'll put 39.61. If you could retrace like another like 35 pips, you might get a wick entry. So just be ready here. If you're not, then same thing. We'll look for the next low zone to be tapped. Same thing. We'll mark it up. Next zone is going to be probably 48. Wait for a 48 tap. Retrace down to 44. We'll take the 44. Same thing. Okay. Get ready here, chat. It's going to be 39.61 wick entry buys. If you can come down that far. A little further of a push you need here. If you make structure, then we got to adjust it. So you made it low. You were 14 pips away. Damn. 14 pips away, and it didn't tap 39. So can we still use 39? I don't think so. Because if you come down towards 39 now, what's going to happen is this. All right, so you've been pushing all day. Pushing all day, pushing all day. Yeah, tap up here. Came down towards here. You came up again. You didn't re-break the highs, but you retest the highs at least, unless it breaks it here. And then if you come down again, look what you're doing, right? You have structure. You're looking, the idea of the wick entry buys is you're looking for the first initial reaction, not the second, not the third, because that's structure, right? So if you take the same entry here, it's a little lower probability because now that you have a low, you're re-breaking that low, there's a high chance you were to push past it, right? So then you gotta adjust your zone. So I'll adjust it down towards 37, or actually I haven't found the zone yet. I think I think it was 37 actually. Yeah, 37. I gotta recheck here, but we'll be 37. So we gotta push it down to the previous area, right? So that's why like if you have structure, then you kind of gotta adjust it. If you don't have structure, then that zone is valid. But you can see price came down, came close, didn't tap it, rejected. So I'll let that sit. Let me find a zone here. I think it is 37 though. Yeah, it's 37. Below 39, 37. So we'll wait for that. Let's see where price goes here though. Just be patient though, chat. Nothing to rush. It's just another day in the markets, right? Something's not clean. Just wait for more confirmations. Applied extra confirmation. But it's just a news candle for 250 pips, right? Nothing to FOMO over. You move like 250 pips every day now on gold. Or this is actually 400 pips. This is actually 440 pips. Maybe you don't move every day 440 pips on gold, but you will move again tomorrow or on Monday. Yeah, 440 pips kind of rare. I'm not gonna lie. 440 pips kind of rare on gold for NY. Happens once every blue moon. But you will have volume again, so no need to stress. Definitely no sells at the moment though. Might be a buy day, which is rare for us. Chat in the last I think 3 months we've had like maybe 3 buys. If I can load up these spreadsheets here. Like, look at this. In the last this was July, right? Since like May, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 buys since May. 4 buys since May. So a lot of sells. Oh, you're retracing here. Could you come down towards 37? So it should be the break of these lows. Get ready here, chat. You ready? Can we tap 37.17? All right. Chat on buys there. Wick entry buys. After the retracement, I think break even would probably be like, so TP is up here. I think BE would probably be at around like here. These zones at like 38.94. I think we'll trail stops at 39. So 39 is like 22. That's a flip there in a minute. With trail stops and profit there. And then BE here, trail stops, and just continue trailing up towards the retested highs here. All right. But basically just this is the first initial pullback we've had. So we're expecting price to retest the highs, right? If price were to flip bearish, it needs to make structure. If it were to come down, it wouldn't just come down immediately like this. So if you can come up towards 38 BE, pay attention to that zone, and then 39 trail stops. But yeah, if price were to go down, right, it'll make structure coming down. This is the first initial pop. You'll see like something like this happen before coming down. All right, chat. So put stops to BE. All right, stops are break even now. You did come up, but I couldn't move trail stops fast enough. Stops are just at BE right now. If you could re-break the highs here. Okay, trail stops and profit. Trail stops and profit. Trail stops and profit. Yo, why my fingers so glitchy today, bro? Trail stops and profit. If you can re-break the highs. Okay, cool. We're out. So just aggressively trail stops and profit. After moving stops to break even, looking for the first initial rejection. Same thing we did last NFP. I'm pretty sure we took the exact same trade last NFP on stream. We didn't get the initial pop on NFP, the push down. We got the retracement. So we waited for the lower high to be printed. And then we just kind of look to take advantage of the retest, right? In this case, like it didn't retest like 44, obviously. I wasn't expecting us to get a full tap towards 44, but I had that as just as a TP and just trail stops and profit. So I think peak we did there was like I think 33 pips, and we got 19 pips there, Jet. So not bad. 17.5 pips there, and it's a buy. So our 5th buy in the last 3 months here. But yeah, didn't care for anything else aside from just this one idea today, mainly because it's bullish, right? So when it's trending this hard, it's a little more difficult to take sells, obviously. So you're limited to ideas. In this case, buys ideas, right? So I'm not really a huge fan of taking just the rebreak of the highs as much as I was in the past. I usually like to wait for the retracement and taking the wick entries, right? But yeah, that's what we waited for. News came out. It was a major push off news. Obviously, we don't trade news, so I can't do anything off the bat after news. It was a 5-minute count. I pushed up for like 270 pips, right? And then we just from there we're like, okay, cool. Let it settle down a little bit. Wait for the retracement. We thought we're gonna get it here. We didn't. We then came up towards 44, and then we got the retracement down towards 37. So we took advantage of 37 towards that 33, 44 zone. I think next ideas chat will be the same thing probably. This is like the smaller time frame idea of it, like just a minute. If you can still get the same retracement on price on the 5, like this is the very start of the bearish candle printing, right? This is the first bearish candle. So you can get the same thing on the 5 here. You probably want to just mark up your zones like this and have your areas like just ready. So like let's say 27 is the next zone. If you come down towards 27, you don't make any type of structure or resistance here. You kind of just make your way straight down without creating structure. Then you can look for wick entries to sell buys at 27. Right, 27 is going to be right below these lows here. So if you break that low, come down towards here. It should be a clean traffic pole. But yeah, you want to see just clean pushes down. Right, you get that? We're going to look for a second idea. Wick entry buys again, same idea, same play, just at a lower zone on a higher time frame on the 5, and then we'll look for the retracement. I think this time we'll probably just be a little more realistic with TP. I didn't really get time to set my TP there or look too deep into the TP there because it happened too quick, but I used to have to retest. But yeah, I think if you come down towards 27, you can probably make your way up towards like 34. So we can probably leave our TP there. I think that would be like a 70 pip TP. And let's see if you can come down towards that zone. If you have a 4-hour closure in 2 minutes, so obviously wait for that. Hopefully the 4-hour opens up bottom wick first. If it does so, wait, let me actually just check and make sure how the 4 opens up here. The 4-hour candle will open up 33.49. So it's closing respect in there. Didn't tap there though, so I still believe there's a little more room to go up towards that area. You can probably make your way down towards, yeah, 27 is pretty fair. 27 pretty fair, but let's go journal this out, chat. So what did we do there? 14. I think that's like 18 pips, right? Did this thing copy over to my other accounts here? Let me just make sure. Nice. Copied over. That wasn't too fast to trade. That was 1 minute and 30 seconds. The one yesterday was like 30 seconds. All right, let me journal this out and then we'll check the YouTube channel and see what's up. I just had to be locked in. If you guys are wondering where I've been every morning, it's been DVS01, so that's basically just where I've been trading every morning. Live with the group members, just been locked in, and it's been good. It's been fun. I enjoy it. I'm sure they enjoy it as well. And this is a great place to be. What time is this trade taken at? This is 8:52. The fuck? Data box today was I'm gonna say bullish after the news candle for sure. Normal. We took a buy. Rare. Took what did we take here? Liquidity, wick entries. On a minute, wick entries, 4 stops, TP level 5. Was it the 5? Yeah, I think it was the 5. Stops BE, yes. We actually almost missed our trail stops and profit point the first initial tap. Because I didn't move stops to break even, or I moved stops to break even, but we didn't trail stops. We're going to tap the trail stops that area. So I was afraid it was just going to flip and drop down. I was like, damn, we might come up break even here. I think at the time it came up like 25 pips. But it held, so. Minute 5, what else do we do here? We took advantage of, that's it, just minute to 5. Liquidity on a minute. It was a win. $14. Oh wait, what percent did I get today? We did 0.84%. Not bad. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Monday we did 1.80. Crazy day on Monday. Big day, huge day. On Wednesday we did 1.28, and today we did 0.84. So for the week we're up roughly like 3.9%. 3.93%. Not bad. Not bad, not bad, not bad. And we might get another trade today. 17.5. Drawdown. Was that drawdown in the chat? I think a bit of drawdown. 13. Max profits was, I think it was 32 pips. 32 pips. Before you came down to hit BE again, if you were to get out. Exit reasoning, trail stop loss hit on a minute. Scenario would have been break even if we didn't do that. And it would have been 0 pips, obviously. All right, last journal over here. First day of the month too, chat. So first day of the month. Wait. $24. 26, 24, 13. Oh yeah, we had 2 trades on the Monday. True. We had 40 pips. How much is this actually? 36 pips on Monday. True. So that's July. And this is August. Cool. Not bad, chat. I think the account's up 76% now. With withdrawals included, you're looking at around like 67%, but around 76% in profit. So how long has it been? We transferred this account over on the 11th of April. We started the account actually in end of February, so March. First month was profitable with this one withdrawals. So we're not even including that, but this account alone, let's say it's fresh on April 11th, you're looking at April, May, June, July, August, like 4 months. 4 months, 76%. But yeah, let's see what's next here. You have a 4-hour closure. Let me analyze this real quick. Let's restart the charts here. I have a lot of levels here that kind of screwed me over when I was managing because it kept tapping the zones and I couldn't just drag my lines up and down. But Okay, so 33.55, 34.4. What's next zone here? Five six. Looking at probably 5.6 next, which is crazy because that's a huge range above there. But yeah, 5.6 you're looking at next. So if you were to get a tap at 5.6, you retrace down towards 44. Guess what we're gonna do at 44? Look entries, right? If you trace now, then it's fine as well. If you retrace now at these zones, which this is a zone that price close respecting on the 4, then you're looking for retracement down towards like 29 zones, because it's a higher time frame zone, right? It's a 4-hour previous level. But yeah, that's what I have here, chat. So I got 5.6 if you were to continue up, and then yeah, and 28. Jeez. Yeah, 42. If you come out towards 56, that's gonna be 42. If you don't come towards 56, then you're looking at 28. But yeah, just have these levels ready and marked up. You have I think a 15 leg candle. No, five leg candles here. So let's see what happens. We can't really predict where it's gonna go, right? I mean, it's still bullish, but are we gonna go up? If so, are we gonna go up now, or is it gonna retrace first for going up, right? So that's what I mean by predicting. Just wait for the retracements, wait for prices to tap these zones, and just plan your trades out. All right, when you don't plan is when you get a little anxious and you don't know what you're really doing. So make sure you plan out your trades before you actually execute them. Don't just look, and then all of a sudden say, you know what, this is actually not too bad. I've been waiting for 4 or 5 minutes today. Let me just enter a trade, right? Because then it's not really a planned trade. It's like a more so of a FOMO trade. So yeah, we have levels here: 28, 56, 42, and we just sit here and wait. Probably here for another hour or so until at least 10. NYC open in about 23, and I think no more news for today, but leftover volume, which is amazing. And that's it, chat. Oh, I'm tripping. You have 10 a.m. news. Yeah, we'll be here for 10 for sure. We'll be here. All right, chat. That was a good BE point. Yeah, I couldn't react fast enough off of that. Yo, my week is up 50% account. Previous 5 is a leg count though. I was on holiday the first 3 weeks of this month, so I'm just now recovering from our last loss. Damn. The one from a month ago? Yeah. Chat, we took a loss on the June 20th. Right? The one before June 20th was, that's really a break even, right? Before June 20th, our last loss was April 9th. So we took a loss on April 9th and just constantly was consistent wins until June 20th. So we lost 21% in April on that one day. I think that was on stream still at the time. And then last month we lost 8%, which isn't too bad. We cut the losses short there. And then it took us quite a bit. I think it took us how many days to recover? I went on holiday for a whole week after too, and I think you had a bunch of bank holidays, Canada Day, July 1st, or 4th of July, US America Day, or what's it called, 4th of July? Yeah. So it took us like roughly, I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trading days, roughly 1% a day. Maybe actually, I'm tripping. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 trading days. 9 trading days to recover from that. And then yeah, same thing each day. popping up here. Sheesh. Let me open the YouTube chat up. Still no unbanned from iRacing, huh? You back on YouTube? No. No, sir. How much do you want to pay stream? You back on YouTube? No. You can do. This link. What up, Farzo? Penzo's asking for a shout. Shout out Penzo. Shout to Penzo. What up, Nectar? Hey, Alyssa with the 199. Appreciate you. Twitch? I haven't streamed on Twitch since April, man. I'm not gonna lie, I'm enjoying it. At first, when I first did Diva Salon, I'm like, I don't know how long I'll do it for. I don't know. I just like, let me just see. And then I did it. You know, we did it. It was fun. And then just got more like, I don't know. I like it. Like it's just chill. It's just I wake up, I hop on the call, the Zoom call. I send a link out. You know, we get on around like 8:20. We do my analysis like normal, like I did this morning. Wait for our trades. You know, we stay on until like 10, 9:30, 10, 11, depending on the day. It's been good. People ask questions, I answer them. No bullshit. Just chill. So I like it. So yeah, I have no return date to YouTube at the moment. I wouldn't say never though, but at the moment, not anytime soon. What up? Hey, how many trades were online? How many trades were online today? Did anyone see the Forex trades peak today? Hands up to see. Shout out to Usman. Hey, lifts. Yo, Mr. CJ, thanks for the tube. Shout out to Mr. CJ, he's been crushing it. Crushing it. You didn't see? That it must have been like 160, I'm guessing. 160 trades online today. Let's see if this thing can come up towards 36 here. How you been, Farzal? Chat, what percent you guys get today? I didn't ask. What did you guys get overall today? Also, if you guys enjoyed the stream, can you guys leave a like though? Hit the like button. I think next time I'll be live is probably actually we'll see. Likely next NFP though. Let's see them. Maybe we'll get another trade today. 10% today. 0.5, 1.44, 1.57, 0.87. 10%, bro. J with the 1.6. %. I'm up 9% for the week. That's good. 9% for the week is fire. How about you, YouTube? What are you guys up for the week overall? What up, Alex? DK, yo, what are I'm so new to you. It's been a long time. What are these little thingies? Is it just what's top fans? Like people who talk the most in the chat? Oh, yo, Levi was here. I didn't see him. Top fans. Made 1.2%. You been crushing it though? Back there, everything been good? Alright, bro. 6%. Yeah, this is good. Everyone crushed today. I didn't see one single loss today from YouTube or Zoom, so looks like everyone had a good day. If you lost today, I don't know. Like you must have really had to try to like, you know, sell the top or something. Cause I think as long as you took buys today, no matter where you took it, I think you gotta win. Account's up 40%. Sheesh. We reached a zone. Yeah, we did. No, did we? Yeah, we did. We tapped it. We did. 5-5. So let's see if you can come down towards what do we have next? 42? Might be a little steeper in 42 here. I think there's still a little more room to go up here. You didn't exactly tap 5-6. You came up towards 5-5, like 10 pips away. It wasn't exactly where we wanted to see it. Yeah, let's see. Still a bit more room here. You mentioned 5-6 and 4-2. Yeah, I have it marked up here. This 4-2 zone. Yeah, 4-2.4. So it's close. Let's see. Can you get like a couple more pops up here? I'm just not the biggest fan of the way it's been pushing after 28 today. It's very like slow and sluggish. So something tells me that like if it's like slow and sluggish from here up, like looking at structure, there could be something here on price right here that might be affecting it right now. So like zones here, and then you got something up here right at 5-6. So if you were to get a retracement, is there a possibility that this thing comes down towards here to mirror all those wicks, and then after doing so could get continuations? The thing is, that's a huge retracement. That's like a 300 pip retracement. like 250. So it's doable. I think that'll look a little cleaner. Otherwise, if you're taking the retracements like in between the ranges, let's say you take the retracements like here at these zones, or here at these zones, or here at these zones, it's as it comes down towards the zones, it's really just creating bottom wicks for those areas, right? And it's very like slow and sluggish on the way down, which means that, like, let's say you come down like here, right, and then you come up, like it's really not doing anything different from how it's been moving out to 28, right? It's just like comes down to the next near support, rejects off of that zone. I think we're looking for more so of these pushes earlier, right, which we got. But now that we got it, we tapped those areas, it's a little difficult now because it's doing the same thing, which means that it could continue to just come down towards next near support, retest, next near support, retest, right? It's not really trending hard as was earlier. Earlier it was trending hard, and that's why we were looking for those ideas, but now you have a bit more structure. So can we get like a 1-2 candle that clears out this entire range? I know it's a lot to ask for. And maybe it doesn't need to come down. Maybe we don't need to wait for this play. But at the moment, this is all I see. Obviously, you have NYC open. You have news here. So maybe it'll make me feel a bit better if you actually just come down first, retrace, and then you get structure. Because if you get structure, then yeah, sure, right? Eventually, you'll get to a point where the buys up, wick entry buys up doesn't need to be down at like 30-28. It can be a little higher than where that is. So if you like come up like this, you create structure, right? Then eventually you can say, you know what, this is fine, right? So then we can just take continuations. But right now we're very limited to ideas. Like we don't have a huge retracement yet. So that's why we're looking for just wick entry buys. I think once you actually have a retracement, we can open up a new set of play, which is going to be the continuation, right? Which is more so going to be like the re-break of the highs, closures above, because then you have a set tone for the day. But right now we don't have a set tone for the day. We're kind of just like, we had a set tone earlier, and now we're just like moving slow and sluggish above 28. So it's no true direction yet. Does that make sense? And also we can't take sells because we don't got true direction for sells. It's bullish, but not strongly bullish at the moment. It's bullish, but moving slow, right? For sells, you're going to need to see like, and it's a long shot. I don't think we'll get sells. Usually I don't like to take the late day reversals like that. So if we do get sells, then that's GG's for me. Surprisingly, because we always take sells. But for sells, I'm gonna need to see something like this, and then retracements like this, and then, you know, below there, yeah, like that can be 11 a.m. 12 move if you even get that. You know what I mean? Until then, though, that's it. So right now I have an idea for 28 wick entries, obviously. If you don't get that, that's fine. It's cool. It doesn't need to form. But NYC open, you need some volume. You need to at least come down to break these lows down here, right? At least these lows tapped. That'll be a minimum of what I want to see. If you get that, and then depending on how you come up as well, because you want to see it create structure up. You don't want to just see one pop down, one pop up. It's not a good look. So then if you get that, move down, and then you get bullish candles closing on support like this. It continues to push, continues to retest the highs. Sure, above here you can look for your buys, and that could be continuation buys, right? So see how there's a difference between that play and the one we took earlier. Two different plays. But right now that has not been unlocked yet, so we gotta wait a little bit. All right, chat. It's a little bit of waiting here, but you have NYC and you have news at 10, so shouldn't be too bad of a wait, to be honest. And then we'll go from there. Oh, by the way, how did news come out today? See, I don't even check news sometimes. I assume it came out negative, right? How did this thing come out? Came out actual greater, so that's neutral, is good. This came out actual greater, is good for forecasts. This came out less then 106. So bad, negative. Unemployment rate, neutral. So good. I guess it's just this folder that came out bad. These are neutral folders. Actual less is good. Actual less is good. Came out neutral. True. So yeah. I guess it was just non-farm employment change. Yeah, it came out really bad actually. They expected 106. The previous was 14. Holy. 73 and change in number of employed people returned to previous month, excluding the farm industry. Damn, that's a lot of jobs lost, bruh. 73K. Damn. What's US 30 doing here? Which one did I use? Holy, this thing is tanking. No. That means gold's gonna go to all-time highs. Need a top wick though, but yeah. Damn. This is a leg candle fill on small on a higher time frame. I know it is. Okay, maybe it's not, but it's a huge wick that needs to be filled eventually. What price is that? That'll be 2036. Sheesh. Check now is 100. Now it's 100. Yeah, pretty bullish. Gold still ranging here. Oh yeah, what was the zone I had again? Oh, right there. Yeah, they reject off of it. Chat, we used the remember on stream when before on stream we used to do the we usually measure like when it's all-time highs, we'll measure the previous range and then we'll put that range above, and that's usually where I'll tap next. In this case, we had 23.5, I think, off of the break of the highs. So we took this range here, right? We took this range here, and we just kind of, I think we can use the previous range. So I think we measured this range that right here, this one right here, from there to there, and then we said, okay, next all-time high level will be here. We did it for gold when it was all-time highs, but then yeah, now it's 100. We did it for that, and it came up to tap that zone. So in case you guys trade gold, now it's all-time highs this month, next month. Something you can do and use. NYC in a minute. Yeah, let's see. Had to break the brain fog was hidden. Yeah, that brain fog. How long it take for the brain fog to go away? That's at least like 3 months, no? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Chat, how's stream been though on YouTube? I haven't been updated. Like I'm just kind of just doing my own thing, but how's like stream side been? How's everything else been? Because I think last time I checked, like YouTube Forex trading streaming hasn't been. It's like nothing crazy. Like I feel like the content needs to change or something on YouTube for things to pop again. But numbers haven't been high since a minute now. Well, look who's live. Well, look who's here. Let's go. Was Addy here today, chat, or no? You got rejection off of 5.6 again. Well, not 5.6, 5.5. This thing came to retest the highs, then push through. 30-minute candle opening up bottom wick first. Something tells me 28 is going to be the zone. I don't think we're going to have it at 40. Unless you actually come down towards 30, 40 and reject, and we'll look for continuations, you know? We'll add that play, but until then, we're looking for that wick entry buy still. Pushing though, there's a chance. If you come down there like 100 pips, there's a chance. Or no, 28's lower and now I'm tripping. Yeah, I mean, you can come down there like 160 pips there within the candle. Wrap up the week and let's go to Twitch. I missed your IRL streams. We got a new Metro album released. Twitch. May miss the old times. The old times, huh? How you been doing though? I've been good. I just been I picked up a new hobby. Sim racing. That's about it. It's been chilling. Actually, it's not a new hobby. I've been had that hobby. But I've been playing iRacing a lot. You're still at it. All right, bro. You know, I just got banned for a week, so I got banned for a week on iRacing for retaliation, like hitting a driver on purpose. I did it a couple of times. That's why. Actually, I got banned for a week. So then I started playing Le Mans Ultimate, which is not bad of a sim as well. Yeah, it sucks though. No, because he cut me off. Bro, it was yeah, no, I got banned. I deserved it though. Why not settle? Settle? I don't know. I like iRacing. It's fun. Lots of cars. I never actually played a settle aside from No Hezi. What do you play? He positioned himself better and you got mad? No, it was Mon's turn 1 and he no, he did not do that. It was Mon's turn 1 and he hit me, pushed me off the track. So instead of taking the first chicane, I went straight to his car and boom. Thanks to you, I passed my evaluation. That's good to hear. I'm happy for you. That's good though. Pass your evaluation. Oh, you get the flip here. 1 hour flip. This thing is picking up. Starting to glitch again. There's a glitch in here. You have a leg candle? Not really. Is that? No, not really. You had a 1 hour flip / 4 hour flip here, chat. Yeah. Below the flip, you still got a lot of room to go, so I'm not too worried about the flip, right? Because you flip, you should drive, ideally, right? And our level is like 28, and it's not going to be the flip, 40. Another reason why I don't have 40 as a zone 2, the flip could be an issue. If you have 40 as a rejection zone, especially in the 1 hour, 4 hour flip, especially if you opened up top wick first for like 120 pips the first 30 minutes, and then the next 9 minutes been retracing, right? So there's a chance that this could create a much deeper wick than that zone there. But 28 is a good zone I have still. That'll be valid for me. And we'll wait for that. Yeah, I'll be here till like 10. 10, we'll see how news comes out. If you get a trade before, that'll be great. We even gotta stay till 10. But yeah, 10, we'll see how things are at 10. And then usually I'll be like 10:15. Give it like another 5-10 minutes after news comes out to see how things react. Wait till 10:15, and then if things are slow by 10:15, we'll call it. If things pick up, still volatile, we'll be here till 10:30. And usually 10:30 we call it wraps, unless it's volume, a lot of volumes though. But usually late day is like a reversal, right? So it's not really my thing. But not a bad day. 0.80%. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Can't really complain about that. Here you go, week 2, chat. I think last week we did 2.69%. This week we did 3.93. The week prior, 1.96. Week prior, 3. Average 3 to 5% a week. Tried Nurburing. I tried Nurburing. I'm learning it right now, actually, with the GC3s. You've been training for a year, time rate flying, bro. Same. The other day, I was sitting there. I was sitting on. Yes, it was actually yesterday. I was sitting there. I was like, I've been trading for 6 years almost. Like 6 years, every day, basically. Like no breaks. Like we haven't really taken a break like that. Like straight 16 years, or not 16. 6 years. In December, it'll be 6 years. But that's like a long ass time. That's been a long ass time. Okay, I know. But 6 years, bro. I would say what's seasoned? Like 10 years? 10 years, 10 to 12 years, I'll say. Yeah, it's just been long. Learn a lot though in 6 years. Still learning every day. Trying to get better. Yeah, 45-minute closure in about a minute here. Just got invited to a podcast. A podcast, huh? Chat. You guys watch Times of Tomorrow? Times Up Tomorrow podcast. You're live on YouTube? Yeah. Right. I watch. Oh, I mean a trading podcast. Yeah, no, not a. I don't think it's a regular. I think it's a trading podcast. You watch Fresh and Fit and the Tate Brothers. Don't they? They're on Rumble, no? Or where do you watch them on YouTube? XYZ ABC. Yeah, Rumble. Let's see, chat. If we're gonna go down here, looks like you rejected off of that 41 zone. You didn't tap 40 completely. You rejected off of 41, 42 ish. If you re-break that low, I'm assuming it's gonna come down towards the next zone. Could be wrong, but assuming the re-break at lows, so there's a bit more structure here. So definitely no wick entries for me at 40. But you can see the structure is starting to like kind of shift, right? You see that? That's kind of what's happening right now. So assuming you break this low, should come down towards these zones next. And then you got this zone after that, right? So let's see if it can make its way down there. If it can push through this with the volume, it'll indicate volume, right? If it pushes through, it'll indicate volume. And therefore below here, which I think that zone is 36. 36 should take you down towards 28, but you have to push through this zone. This is the hardest zone to push through. If it's able to do that, then I'm sure we'll be able to get second positions today. If it doesn't, it rejects, it comes back up to re-break the highs at 5.6, then that's probably my day. That's probably gonna be my day, because above 5.6, you could get continuations, but may take a little longer to set up, because we wanted to see a closure above 5.6. We wanted to see structure above, so retest, respecting 5.6 zones, respecting those areas, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and then as you continue up to re-break the highs, we'll look for the buys, right? But that won't be until 11, 10:30, 11. So it's only like 1 to 2 ideas I have today. That would be a third idea. Or no, I'm sorry. We only have one idea right now. That'll be the second idea. But it might be a little too late for us to take that second idea. Not a bad day though, chat. Like, what do you guys give today? 7? I can't really give it an 8 because I only have one idea today. Maybe 2. I'll give it a 7. You can give it an 8. Lots of volume. You watch my training videos? What training videos? I have training videos? $19.67. $7. Yeah, that's fair. The ones where you explain your thought process. Wait, which one are you talking about? My training videos, like my old ones, you mean? Like my YouTube videos? Like, man. Hopefully. Hopefully. The old ones, huh? Yeah. What's up, Daniel? Yes, I remember you. We do some volume here. Like it's moving. Don't get me wrong. These ranges are massive. Even this range that we're in is like 40 pips, 50 pips this range here. So it's moving. It's just not compared to what it is today. The ratio is a little off from volume, right? So you need to move quite a bit here to cover up for the ranges. But it looks like you're pushing now. So could you continue to come down? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Your new style of stream is so chill. Thank you. I mean, it's been chill, yeah. It's literally exactly what it is in the USO one. Like, there's no music, right? Because I figured everyone wants to play their own music, or some people don't like music. I play music in my ear, blasted. Yeah, it's my ear. But yeah, just trading, just chill, wait for setups, explain things here and there when we get something new, you know. That's it. Same routine almost every day. I like it. I'm up near 8%. Oh no, oh, it's Biza. What's up, Biza? I changed my office. I just moved it back. Like, I just pushed it back because I didn't want to look at the wall no more. So there's more debt in front of me now. Biza made 150% for the year though. It's amazing. Chat, we're just waiting for news here in 4 minutes, and then we'll see what goes on here. But 4 minutes, you have 10 a.m. news. I think it's called ISM manufacturing PMI, ISM manufacturing prices, and revised UM consumer sentiment, construction spending, revised UM inflation expectations, and then I guess world total vehicle sales all day. Don't know what that is. I don't think I've ever seen that. Oh, annualized number of cars and trucks sold. Ah, true. But yeah, these three major folders there. So we'll see if this can pick up in volume. Looking like it could, but you need to come down quite a bit here, man, for us to get anything. I don't know if we're gonna get anything. That might be it. Any questions in the chat about trading? Any questions? I'll take advantage of the stream today. It's free. It's free stream. I'm down to answer questions about trading. One hour might close the leg candle. Yeah. Thanks for the reminder. I was looking at it, but I wasn't looking at it. Yeah, that is a 1 hour leg candle though. Yes, sir. Used to look for the old breakouts. Yeah, we still do. Like ideally a day like today, we'll look for them above like 33.56. It's just the time now. Assuming you break above 35.6 later on, it'll be like around 10:30, 11. It's a little late. We already got a trade for the day. If this breakout were to happen, let's say earlier, we didn't get the wick entry, and it was still like 9:30, 8 to 9, 9:30. I'll look for the breakout as continuation because you have the NYSE volume that can pick up and kick in and push price. But late day, aside from news, it usually gets a little dry at this time. But yeah, we should look for the breakout. It just depends on the occasion. Today, we only looked for wick entry buys. Yesterday, we had wick entry sells that we were looking for. I don't think we got anything though. No breakouts yesterday. I think the day before we had breakouts as ideas, but I think we only took wick entry sells as well. But yeah, we still take those. Just comes down to the occasion of price, where things are, what time it is. How many years to become profitable? What type of profitable though? Because you can be profitable, but there's different levels to it, right? You can be profitable for a couple months. You can be profitable for a year. You can be profitable, but more profitable the year after. So to get like the basic principle, like consistent profitable, took me like 9 months to a year. And then, but that was nowhere near where I am now, right? Nowhere near. Like, you can be consistent, but the way we are now, the accuracy, the rate, it's different. So you can get a profit pretty quick. Like you can get consistent pretty quick, but then you just level up, right? So that never ends. Like in 10 years, I'll look back from now and be like, yeah, I mean, 10 years ago, I was profitable, but not the way I am now. I'll say the same thing. So, yeah. News here. News there. News coming up here. So you tapped 40, right? And you tapped 40. And you didn't tap 28. 40 looks like the zone. Looks like if you are going to continue up, you get the breakouts. Now you have a bit better. It's a bit better in structure. You have bottom wicks here. So let me use the 5 here. All right, it's still not the best. I want to see if I'm looking for anything else above. I want to see like closures above and pullbacks respecting 5-6 to confirm in their higher low. But you have this right now. It's the first time, or maybe second time, you're making a low. First time it's here, so we're still unsure of that low. We're still trying to figure out if it's going to come down further today towards 28 or not. I guess that level got respected by this 40 zone because news came out and rejected. So you have that now. You have more higher lows. Still not the clearest, but you continue up like this. You have a zone here now. You have a zone there. You got a zone here. You can say, okay, cool. If price makes its way up above, and then you get like bearish candle closures respecting like this, then yeah, you're good. And then you get closures above there, obviously, right? But then you'd be good because now you have more lows. This is the third low, right? So 1, 2, and 3. This counts as one low, I'll say, but yeah, 3, right? So then closure above here would be great because you're closing above the most recent area after printing a bottom wick, and then this should continue up towards the next resistance next. The thing is, that's gonna take a little while though, right? For a closure above, for cancel close respecting, it's gonna be at least 10:30, 11 if you get that. But that's an idea that we can have for breakouts. And then there's still a chance if you don't break the highs, you can still come down for a bottom wick. Obviously not 40 as a wick catcher zone. You are creating structure though, so if it does decide to come down, right? And this is why I was a little unsure of this bottom wick in these areas, because it can still come down. If it does come down, then at what point? Like I'm not looking for sells, right? Because it's a late day reversal. It's not a bad idea. It's just whenever it's a late day reversal, I usually hop up the charts for that time. But you close below 40. Look at what you just made. Right? Look at the structure now. It's starting to shift. So could you still take the wick entry at that 28 zone? Maybe, but you can see the lower highs starting to shift. So things might start taking a turn, especially if you continue to make lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. If it does this for the day, eventually at some point during the day, you have this clean traffic news candle push at 8:30. That whole thing's gonna get corrected by this. But you needed a lot of structure for that. You need to see lower highs and lower lows, right? So that's the beauty behind it. Like you don't have to just predict where it's gonna go. You can kind of just wait to see where it goes first. Wait to see what levels it taps off of, where it rejects off of, and then it'll kind of tell you where it's gonna go, right? So let's say right now you have like some minor zones here. Let's say that's 40 zones. This is 40s. This is like 28, 30 zones. Right, I guess it's below here somewhere. You close below there, you start making structure. Yeah, sure. Eventually, you start looking for sales. But it comes down now to the time of the day, right? Are these trades still in your window? Or is it outside of your window? So my window is usually from 7:30, 8 until 11. After 11, 10:30, 11 is GG's. And usually you get late day reversals late day. Right, usually at 10, 11, so that's why we don't really catch them unless we're in drawdown or something. And yeah, so you can sit here and trade all day, right? You can sit here and wait for positions all day, but is that really the best thing to do? No, right? You're gonna kill yourself because you're gonna get drained by looking at the charts all day, man. So set a window and then set ideas up for the day, and then just wait for those ideas to play out within that window. If it doesn't, worst case, come back tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day. It's first day of the month, last day of the week. You had a crazy month of July. You don't need to stress about getting positions. All done today. You have tomorrow. But yeah, that's kind of the breakdown here of gold here. So just look at the structure and yeah, we'll say we'll be here till 10:15 here, chat. Another like 9 minutes here, and we'll see what's next, okay? And we'll see what's next, okay? Can you show us how to mark up chart and think before you mark them up? Yeah, sure, I can do that. So now let's pick a random area. You can go back to like the recording should be up today if you don't watch today's, but let's go pick like a random area here. Since I don't think we're gonna do anything here. Let's go back to like here. Oh, they put the replay thing now, so people can't fake their trades anymore, huh? On the clips. But yeah, let's say you go here. You know, what's the trend first thing you want to see is where is it headed. It's pretty straightforward. Just draw an arrow. It's going down, right? Like just draw like where's it going? It's going down, right? So understanding that if it's going down, your first thought, or my first thought is now, is this going to continue down? And if it continues down, then how could it continue down? What levels must it tap to continue down? What levels must it hold to continue down? And if it's a fake out going up, how can I avoid the fake out up? And how could I wait for the moves going down? If you break that fake out, at what point is it a reversal? Right? So automatically, that's what I'm thinking for the day. So then you just mark up your levels. Like right now, I'll put, without looking left, I'm assuming this is the area. That's just the most recent support. Most recent resistance is here. Right? So we can delete all these arrows now and say, okay, cool. This is the range we're in. Right? If this is the range we're in, this is the previous high. Could we still go up? Yeah. Are we going to go down from here? Maybe. We don't know. But you don't want to guess and predict that. So I don't know if it's going to go down from here. It could. High chance it could, because it's still following the bearish trend. But is it at this exact point, at this exact time? I don't know. But we do have levels here at 3250 and what is this? 3200. So then let that sit. Wait to see if it can come up to tap 3250 or if it can break below here before getting any ideas, right? So right now we have zones for, if it were to go up, it'll tap this zone. It's kind of like what we did earlier this morning. If it were to go down, it'll tap this zone, right? So that's kind of what we have here. So let it play. Let's see where it goes. Okay, cool. So it decided to, if I can pause it, it decided to go up, right? Fuck, I wish I paused it in time, because we've been able to break out down this fake out. But it goes up, then you ask yourself, okay, well, is this going to be a fake out or continuation, right? So then you mark up your next zone here. Above 3250, your next zone is here, right? If you come up towards there, that's an area where you're likely to reject that. In this case, it didn't come up towards there. It came up towards these areas only, and it rejected, right? So it looks like this was the fake out. However, this is why I wish I paused it, because if you were to break above here for the first time, chat, and you were to hold and you were to re-break the highs again, yeah, above here again would be great for buys, because now you have structure. Is this enough structure to say we're going up? Just here, here, and here? It's a little tough still, right? Could still be a fake up because overall structure is still bearish here, right? So now that you're sitting here, price broke back into the range here. Are we going to continue up towards like 3250, or is price going to come down from here? So you kind of do the same thing now in this sense, where you start marking up your ranges. So we mark up this range here. You zoom in a little closer. I'm using one time from here, but you have a resistance here. You can see it. You have a support here, you see it, right? So is this going to be a fake out? Same question you ask yourself up here. Is this going to be a fake out? Are we going to continue back into the range, right? Because if you look at the structure, you can see that we're coming down here, coming down. And then we started to shift a little bit here and there, right? But you can see the structure starting to slowly make its way back down below the ranges. So if I were to go over here, you can see, right? This is still bearish overall. This is a range. This is support. Your highs here, which is now a fake out. Same thing happening here. It's a mini fake out here, right? And these candles here are starting to respect. So now I'll say something like, as long as price holds below this zone here, this yellow zone, then any given point it can still head down, right? So that's what I'll be saying to myself right now. So I'll mark that zone up like here. Boom. We're gonna leave this up here too, and also this to retest the lows as a target, maybe a little higher. Then we'll just we'll see if this right now is going to be a zone here. All right, so I'll probably use yellow lines here as minor support and resistance zones like this. Ideally, you want to see closures back below there. What time is it too? It's well, this is like late session close. It's a Friday too. So let's just play this and see what happens there. But nothing we can do at the moment. Still trying to figure out where it's gonna go. All right, so it's holding 50, right? We said as long as it holds 50, we can look for sells back down. Okay, breaking out above 50 now. So no sells, no buys, nothing yet at the moment. So look, now it gets a little interesting because now it's starting to break above this high here, right? So now I think this is when you're almost ready to go. You have a new high here now. You had this that broke the highs here. I would say something like, okay, can we start looking for buys now? Because the structure has shifted a little bit more. You have a lows, lows, lows here, right? You have more lows. This is a huge retracement. If it were to go down, I would assume it would have been this push, but it didn't. So as long as you hold to 32.50, could we look for buys above here? Of course, right? So we can start marking up zones here and looking to see if you could come down towards like 32.50 here before going up. No wick entries. It's a little tough because this is just one time frame, but assuming you close above 71, that would be the ideals. And I guess you close, yeah, you just kind of closed above and drove, but that'll be what you're hunting for now, right? But like that's how you can tell direction wise where we're headed, by looking at structure and just waiting for those lows, waiting for those highs to hold and respect, right? But here, the first time you come up, like in these zones, it gets a little tough. Like you don't want to be looking for buys yet, because any given moment, since this is still bearish trend, this can still be a fake out, right? It can still do this. In this case, it did do that, but was it a fake out to fill the whole range? No, it wasn't. Why didn't it do that? I don't know, but it didn't, right? It didn't do what it was supposed to do. So then just continue waiting. You get more information. Boom, 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 boom. You did that. This simulator sucks though, holy. All right, look at that. So this is important here, and this is areas where a lot of traders might get caught up. But here, as you close above here, in this case, it would have played out because it came up anyways. But to avoid drawdown, to avoid that issue, the first initial rebreak of the highs is a little tough because look, don't pay attention now to any of this. Don't pay attention to this. So look at this, right? So look at this. Look at the moves up now. Look at the way you're moving up and how you're coming up here. Boom, 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 right? So above here, is there structure now? Wait, hold on. Did I already move it back? So let's go back to here. Actually, I gotta see that. Maybe just this. You don't got pensions, any of that, just this, right? Just to see where the points are. But you can see now, like this move up, you're focused on this area. Is this structure up? Is it really making higher lows up? Right? No. But now that you have, obviously you have now this bearish candle. Right there, right? So is this like any structure? No. Any structure up? No, right? No structure. Little bottom wicks here and there, little bottom wicks here and there, but is it enough? No, it didn't tap the previous zone. It only tapped the middle of the range, right? And a lot of traders, with the moment it closes above here, they'll be getting buys, which is not a bad idea, but there's a chance you could go and draw down, because if you don't have structure going up, any given point, you could still come down for structure. So it's better to wait for that low to be printed, right? That's why right now for buys, we're looking for that closure above, and like in live charts, we're looking for that retest. But then you made a low, and then above here afterwards, a closure, you can take the buys. So then we marked up zones here at 71 and buys above to go up towards 83, right? So let's do it one more time since I couldn't really pause it. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go like here, somewhere random. Okay, so here. So where is it going? It's going up, right? It's bullish, obviously. What's most recent structure doing? It's slowing down a little bit. So you start marking up ideals here. I'm pretty sure looking left, there might be something more. Nope. I guess no history. You can start marking up zones, right? So this isn't zones to take buys and sells. It's just a zone to indicate if we were to go up, where we react at. If you were to go down, where would you react at? And same thing, still bullish. So any given point can still come up. Could this be a fake up? Maybe. We're not for sure yet. It's too early because we're at the early stages of the move down. This is the first time you're rejecting. It can still pop up at any given point. I'll say sells be more so like this. If you were to break below 9.7, come down towards next minor support, reject, come up, pull back, then the re-break. That will be the sell once you have that, right? So until then, no ideas for continuation sells. Right now, you still have continuation buys. You look for wick entries probably. So I'll say like 9.7 could be a good wick entry zone as long as you don't make structure up. So let's play it and see if you can get a wick entry at 78. You want to see just straight pushes down. All right, this is perfect. So in this case, we would have been in at 78. Wick entries on a dot too. And then, yeah, I'm pretty sure we break even right now. It's 53% profit. I don't know how it would have exactly played out, but general idea, right? Looking for that first initial tap at 78. Still looking for buys. Same thing we did today. Still looking for buys. And then we won't be taking continuations ideas until probably above 33,000 probably, right? You close above 3,000. Wait, hold on. Remember the last example? Don't take the buy yet. Wait for price to actually pull back. It can pull back to here, who knows? But let's say it pulls back, holds that zone, closes back above. That's your continuation buy now. So until then, you're only looking for wick entry buys, which you got here, right? Off of that 9.7 zone. So let's see how it plays out now. But let's see if it continues down or not, right? But this trade, you'll be probably trail stops and profit, break even, all that good stuff. Okay, so pushed up. Let's see if it comes down or not. Still nothing we can do. I'm assuming we would have got out that trade, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, because that pop was like 100 pips for sure. We've been out a long time ago. Okay, so you can see it's coming up now, retesting the highs. Has it made structure up? Right, it's the same questions you just ask yourself every time. It's the same constant routine. Is it making structure up? Not really. There still could be bottom wicks being created in these zones here. So look at this push here. Is there any structure on that pop there? No. There's one move straight up, right? No structure. So is there a chance it can still come down to re-break the lows? Yes. If there is, then could you look for ideas for sells now below here? Because if you don't have structure up and you come down and you come up first, as you come down again, could you fill the range down? High chance. So you can start marking up zones for sell ideas now. It's a little early still, or it's kind of where it was earlier, but it's different areas now, right? So you can start putting a zone like here for say at like, I'm gonna say here's pretty good area right there, and sells below 987 going down to fill the rest of the range, and tap 77 is pretty good. So we'll wait for that idea. Close below. So I think we'll be in drawdown here, I think actually. And I think this would have been a loss, right? But yeah, I think I'm just gonna say it would have been a loss. But as you close back below again, ideally you push down. Here's the thing though, this thing did push down 20 pips. I'm doing a replay mode chat, okay? If this would be a small time, 19 pips, 10 pips in profit, we're break even. I think this would have been break even maybe. I don't think it would have been a loss because you did close below and this thing did push down like 22 pips, 20 pips. It's hard to say. It's a replay, right? We're not exactly in here. But ideally, you continue down below here after doing all of this stuff, right? Because the price is struggling here. And then when it came up again, let's see. When it came up again, could we look for buys above here now? No. Not ideally off the bat. You need to wait for structure above here, so you probably want to see a closure above, a low being formed, and then more buys above the zones here. So whatever this is above here will be great now. But that's kind of how we'll go about things. Like we're just constantly waiting to see like what structure is printing, whether we respect, hold, create highs, create lows, right? And then obviously what's important as well is trade management. Like understanding like where to put your break evens at, where the trail stops and profit at. So those things you usually want to have done before. Today's trade, we did have zones for that. But you always want to be ready for it. Like for instance, like right now, right? Or earlier. We had break even zones, I think down here at the retest of the lows. Or I'm tripping, sorry. We had break evens here at like this next minor resistance in these areas. Right, that was break even, and then the next resistance after that, we're looking at trails. So usually it's like the minor support and resistance levels. The first zone comes up, usually break even area. The very next minor zone is trail stops and profit area. And how I would trail my stops is we usually move our stops and profit to the previous zone. So let's say it came up towards here, we're break even, right? It comes up towards here, trail stops and profit towards these lows now. You know what I mean? So yeah, it didn't just continue trailing. We put our TP up here earlier, but it didn't tap, right? And that's kind of how we'll go about things. But that's how I'll structure and wait for our trades. Like every morning, you can ask Diva01. We look for the same plays and same ideas every morning. It's very consistent, and I think that's what's key. We don't got too many plays as much as we used to. Like I think at one point we had 8 to 10 plays, but in a day, right? Sometimes, but now we limit depending on the day, depending on the structure that's printed that day. We'll be like, okay, today's an algo day. I guess we can only take wick entry buys. Today's a liquidity day. Okay, we'll open a deal up for fake outs and continuations, because likely when you have liquidity, you get fake outs and continuations, right? And we'll only look for those 2 plays. So we still have a lot of plays, but we're very like depending on the structure, we're looking for only a few. Does that make sense? So yeah, that's how I go about things. Yo, assimilation. Yeah, assimilation. Won't be too bad. But yeah, chat. That was that. I think we're gonna call it a day now, though. It's 10:24 here, so I don't think we're getting any trades. I think if you do get buys here, if you want to look for buys here, then I think what you got to do kind of is just if I could refresh these charts here. Yeah, if you do want to look for buys here, what you could do is put a zone here, put a zone here. There's no guarantee that we're going to continue up yet, because you did break the highs, but you're not continuing at the moment. You do want to see closures above, right? And then you want to see like bearish candles closing, respecting. And then you close back above there, and those are your entries ideally. But it's a little late now, so just be a bit cautious. I'm not the biggest fan of late day moves. But yeah, chat, that's it. That's my day. Next time I'll be live on YouTube. I don't know yet. Pretty sure next NFP though. So the end of next month or beginning of next month, depending on what day it falls on, we'll be live again. Hope you guys had a good year. Leave a like and sub to the channel for more videos that are coming out. Hope you guys enjoyed my last video of my account update. And yeah, this account sitting at the 1K account sitting at 1,677 now in the span of 3 months. So 3 to 4 months. So yeah, pretty good. And next update on the video, I don't know, I'll see. But yeah, that's it, chat. Have a good day, everybody. Enjoy your profits today. If you're still looking for trades, just be disciplined, wait for your setup. You know, don't be in a hurry. It's a Friday. Finish off the week strong. And then next week is a pretty big week as well, to start off the month. All right, everybody, peace out. Take it easy. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. Appreciate you guys. W YouTube, W Divas01. Laters.